We are back, and I have watched the first 3 episodes of Ironheart, and I'll tell you my thoughts. First of all, I'm really enjoying the show. I know the show has gotten some backlash, I don't know why. But let me start by saying this. I didn't see Wakanda Forever, so I'm not familiar with Riri Williams, this character that is like an MIT student that I think she said in the Ironheart series she interned at Wakanda. After Chadwick Boseman passed away, I couldn't bring myself around to watch Wakanda Forever. And it had no shade on anything. It was, I loved his character in Black Panther. I loved his character when he appeared in Captain America Civil War and all the Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame. And then it was like the rug was just pulled out from underneath, you know, because of the colon cancer and all that kind of stuff. And I just didn't feel like watching another Black Panther film would be the same. And then I know that there was a lot of tributes in it and all that kind of stuff. And apparently the movie had a lot of heart, but I just couldn't bring myself to watching it. So I didn't know who the Riri Williams character was that is in Ironheart. So I'm going in with a complete open mind and clean slate. And I like the show. I thought the first 3 episodes were just fine. The one character that stood out to me the most was the Natalie Washington character. Why? Because Lyric Ross. My wife and I watched This Is Us, and she was on that show, and my wife and I both loved her character arc, how she came into the show as a foster kid, and then how she got adopted by the family, and all the ups and downs she had with her maternal mother and everything. She is one hell of an actress. And when I saw that she was going to be the AI, she was going to be like the Jarvis in the helmet, I just love the idea. She's such a powerful actress. I can't get enough of Lyric Ross. So right off the bat, I'm all in. Alden Ehrenreich, man, solid talent. I love what he's contributing so far to the show. Spoiler alert, they've kind of said who he really is. He had a fake name in the beginning, and now we realize that he is Jebediah Stain's son. He was the guy that was in the Ironmonger suit in the first Iron Man film, played by Jeff Bridges. And everything makes sense now because he had all this armament. He had a hidden bunker with all this stuff in it. And you're just like, where does this guy get all this money? Where does he get this stuff from the dark web or all this kind of stuff? And then you're like, oh, okay, now we know who he is. And he never wanted to go down the path of his father. So, but, he still was creative and coming up with gadgets and things and stuff that can help. And I just love his addition to this. Plus, I like that they're keeping him in the Mouse House because he, after all, was in Han Solo. And Solo, A Star Wars Story, was a good film. And it came out in the shadow of The Last Jedi and the backlash, and it didn't have a Christmas opening, so it didn't have enough time to breathe, the Star Wars franchise. It didn't make the money. I feel really bad that his take, and he couldn't get more sequels, was not well received. But it's got a great fan base now. So Alden Ehrenreich is a perfect addition to the series. Anthony Ramos. Love this guy. Love his acting. That is the thing that I think is the standout for this show, is they really put talented actors in all of the roles. Manny Montana was great. I hate that he's like, I hope he comes back. Are they ever really dead? Spoiler alert, his character's killed in the 3rd episode. I love this character. Anthony Ramos, though, I gotta circle back to him. The control he has as an actor is very similar to the control that Tom Cruise has. The guy never blinks when he's in a close-up. He doesn't move and sway and bob or shift weight like this in a scene where the camera operator has to kind of follow you a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Maybe you're going out of frame a little bit. And that would be my only complaint about Dominique Thorne, who plays the lead character, Ironheart, in this. You can tell in scenes with other actors like Lyric Ross, who did all those seasons of This Is Us, that she doesn't have the acting skills of other actors like Anthony Ramos and Manny Montana, when she's sharing screen time with people like Alden Ehrenreich, you can see that she hasn't worked a lot. Now, what she has done so far is pretty good, but for me, there's a lot of this in the camera frame when she talks like this. And then when you watch Lyric Ross, it's solid. She starts saying something like this and she never blinks. Same thing with Anthony Ramos. When he just freezes in a shot and he'll say a line and he barely moves. And you really feel the power behind the characters. But an actor that doesn't have a lineage of films yet or TV shows in her background looks, bobs and weaves and moves around and does a lot of big movements. And I kind of blame the directors of these episodes for not reeling her in and saying, hey, don't shift your weight. Have your feet planted. Be focused in the scene. Don't move. Here's your frame. Your frame is here. So you can't do this. You can only do this. You know? I feel like they're not telling her that stuff. These are like acting 101 on camera basics. Like you have to know your framing. You have to know how much room you have to make a gesture or a movement and sway back and forth or do something. And again, like those are my biggest complaints of her in general. But most of the stuff she's emoting is good, but she doesn't have a lot of control over her physical presence. And I feel like that needs to be tweaked a little bit. And that's only going to come with time. If you go back and you look at even Tom Cruise's first couple of movies, he was all over the map too. And then as time goes on and actors get better at what they do, they can stay in a shot, not move, not blink their eyes, and they can really get a point across. But if you're doing this all the time and you're blinking and you're just, I don't know, and you're shrugging your shoulders and you're moving around, you're swaying back and forth and shifting from hip to hip, it doesn't translate well on camera. But enough about acting techniques. The character Shea Couleé, Slug, hilarious. Love this character. It's great. It breaks up all the seriousness of everything when that character is on screen. One of my biggest things that I like about this show is when Dominique is in the Ironheart suit and the heads-up display, and she gets to talk to her AI. Those were my favorite parts about the original Iron Man films, was having Jarvis in there, talking to him as the AI. And so for me, anytime the helmet's on and the heads-up display is on and she's talking, oh, what are we gonna do? Or hey, like all that stuff, I'm just like, this is great. And I like her suit. I think her suit looks great. I don't feel like they went skimpy on the production value on this. I feel like we're looking at top tier Marvel. We're not looking at like low budget, like television Marvel. They've really stepped that up with the visual effects in this. And yes, I'm really enjoying the show. And I can't wait to see the next 3 episodes. What did you guys think of Ironheart? Let's talk about it in the comment section. We'll see you on the next one.